Today I was clearing up the yard of bad plants and prune some plants because it's fall, but down south it's not getting super duper cold yet, but still time of the year to prune your plants. And I'm burning the scraps in my campfire thing. It's doing good. No smoke, or very little smoke. It does smoke sometimes, but that's not why we're here. We're here for story time and having some sandwiches with some tzatziki, and Tardisius recommended that get me some Michelob. So let's take a chomp and wash it down with some Michelob. Again, it's an Anheuser-Busch beer. I'm not a big Anheuser-Busch beer fan, again, not because of cancel culture, but just I never really liked the flavor. And this is Michelob Ultra, basically Michelob Light. It's one step above O'Doul's. See how it pairs with this sandwich. Napkin. Pairs pretty good. So story time. Been listening to podcasts, Reddit stories, and one of the Reddit stories was this guy who was getting out of the army. I don't know how long ago this was, but he was getting out of the army, but a few months maybe before he got out, somebody broke into the barracks and stole his stuff, and so told the CO, company commander, hey, somebody broke into my barracks and stole my stuff. And he's like, he was gonna call the MPs, military police, to come and do an investigation, but his commanding officer said, no, don't call the MPs, just write a request to replace missing equipment. So he did that, and anyway, so the story was how he got even with his commanding officer. And it reminded me of not how I got even with officers when I was getting out of the Navy, but I did get kind of compensation, right? So a couple things. My last deployment, again, my primary job was an inspector, not what's called a non-destructive inspector, but my secondary job voluntarily was an airframes mechanic, because I was an airframes mechanic for 4 years, and then I went to inspector school, and then my primary job was be an inspector, and I was supposed to be only designated as an inspector, but the problem was the aircraft that I was assigned to, they needed on-site inspectors. So if I wasn't inspecting, theoretically, technically, I could just kind of chill out. And but Navy being what it is, you got to wear a lot of hats. So being formerly an airframes mechanic, I did help doing airframes mechanic stuff, and I was also what they call the CDI, collateral duty inspector, to do quality inspection things. So if somebody fixed something, they would need a secondary person to come and verify that the fix was done properly. And you had to go through training and take exams to get qualified as a collateral duty inspector. So I did that just mainly because I was bored. So I did airframes repair, I did hydraulic repair, I even helped the engine mechanics and the electricians. So I did a little bit of everything, but my primary job was doing inspections. Anyway, so our last my last deployment was supposed to be on what's called a USNS, United States Naval Ship, but it was a civilian ran ship, which was better than a USS, right? But I wanted to extend for 6 more months because my wife was getting ready to graduate from college, and so I wanted to extend past her graduation, so when she started working, our income would overlap, and it would pay us a little more savings, so when I got out we would have enough money to kind of move forward. Anyway, so my last deployment ended up getting switched over because I extended my enlistment. They took my deployment on the USNS and put me on another detachment on the USS Wasp, and which I was kind of disappointed, but nothing I can do about it. So I was like, okay, whatever. So I went on my deployment, and there were a lot of things that needed to be done beyond what I did. So I did a lot more than I was assigned to do. And in fact, I even saved, I saved or I helped save missions, saved us from missing a mission, because I did things that were extra than what my assigned duties were. And I didn't do it because I wanted to be recognized. I just did it because I wanted to help my shipmates. Well, when you do that normally on a deployment, each deployment, on average, they give out 2 or 3 what they call Navy Achievement Medals. Again, I wasn't looking to get the Navy Achievement Medal, but at the end of the deployment, I'm like, wow, I did a lot. Well, I didn't think much of it after the deployment, and it came out that the admin guy got the Navy Achievement Medal, and nobody else in the maintenance part of the detachment got a Navy Achievement Medal. So just out of curiosity, I asked the detachment chief. I was like, hey chief, is anybody else getting a Navy Achievement Medal besides the admin guy? And he's like, why? He said, well, I mean, if I can, I'd like to put in, raise my hand. It's like, hey, I did a lot. Would I be qualified to get that Navy Achievement Medal? And he goes, oh, let me think about it. I never did. That, and at the time, 50 cents would get you a cup of coffee. So it was just, hey, I did a lot more than I was asked, and if one was available, hey, I wouldn't mind getting it. And it really means nothing. It really means nothing to anybody on the outside. It means something to you if you stayed in and you were moving forward in the military, but I knew I was getting out, so I was like, whatever. So fast forward to about a month later, and I had about another month left in my enlistment before I got discharged from the Navy. And the normal thing that happens is, regardless on if you're retiring or if you're getting out and not re-enlisting, and I've done it would have been 8 years when I got out. And so anytime anybody gets, even if you only did one enlistment for 4 years, when you were getting out, getting discharged, you can request what they call house hunting leave, and they give you 10 days of leave, vacation, for house hunting. And even my supervisor said, yeah, here's the checklist of things to do. I had to go get discharge training. I had to do like 2 weeks or a week of training on getting back into the civilian world, things I can get benefits for and whatnot. And one of the things was you put in your what they called house hunting leave chit, which was a request. So I did that and didn't think much of it. And so like a week later, my supervisor calls me into the office. We were friends. He was a very good supervisor. I think if I can find a picture here, but calls me into the shop and goes, sorry to tell you, but your house hunting leave chit got denied. I'm like, what? Why? And he says, well, the maintenance officer was the one who was the approval guy, and he was the lead detachment officer, and I don't know why, but I didn't get the feeling that he liked me. I didn't do anything wrong. I actually did, like I said, more than I was assigned to do. I was very respectful to everybody, but for some reason this dude just didn't like me, and he denied my request for standard house hunting leave when you were getting out of the Navy. And I can't remember if I talked to him or not. And well, let's just put it this way. So I asked my supervisor, well, why did he deny me? It's like, well, don't talk to him. But what he told me essentially was that since you're not retiring, you're not authorized to get your 10-day house hunting leave. I'm like, everybody gets it, don't they? That's what I was told. He goes, yeah, that's what I mean, he said, I've had people get out after 4 years that got the 10-day house hunting leave. It's pretty standard. I was like, so do I need to come to work for 10 days? And he says, tell you what, every morning, give me a call, make sure you're still alive. That's all he said. So even though it was denied, my supervisor let me take the 10 days that everybody else got for house hunting leave when they got out of the Navy. So yeah, those of you viewers who have or used to be in the military know it's not always a pleasant thing, right? And things don't always go the way they're supposed to go, because different people who are in charge just have assholes. They just have different characteristics. I've had commanding officers who were awesome, great people who cared about the people in their department, in their squadron. I had a commanding officer who didn't even want to look at you. I've had commanding officers who were kind of nah, and I've had officers who are really, really good social people, and I've had that one officer who is just a jerk. He, for no reason, which kind of relates to back in the Vietnam War when officers were getting fragged. I don't understand. To this day, I still don't understand why I was denied that, because everybody was getting it. I don't know what I did to make this guy mad at me or not like me. I don't remember doing anything that was disrespectful or that was not doing what I was supposed to be doing, but this guy, I don't know. And I heard through the grapevine that he was trying to get promoted, but ended up not getting promoted. He got passed over. So, well, what goes around comes around, right? So that's it. That's all I got. Cheers.